person. CBS's Anna Schechter reports they don't know the whereabouts of the suspect.
They have a footprint, they have a forearm print, a palm print. That can help them, but it can only go so far. I think that the technology of surveillance footage is really going to be the key here.
The U.S. Marshals are now assisting in the search, and CBS News has learned FBI Director Kash Patel is heading to Utah. A group of lawmakers joined forces on Capitol Hill today condemning political violence. Senator Richard Blumenthal.
Frequency and severity of violence should be sickening and shocking to all Americans. No matter what your politics, political violence has to stop.
Nancy Cordes reports President Trump paid tribute to Kirk today.
The president called Kirk a giant of his generation, called him irreplaceable, and he said that he would soon be awarding Kirk the Presidential Medal of Freedom posthumously.
Trump was speaking at a 9/11 memorial service at the Pentagon that was moved to an inner courtyard because of security. In New York, to mark 24 years since the attacks.
William F. Abrahamson. Richard Anthony Aceto.
Inflation rose last month as the price of gas, groceries, and airfares jumped. A separate report showed weekly unemployment applications jumped to the highest point in 4 years. CBS's Kelly O'Grady.
Today, relatively good news for folks looking for that interest rate cut next week.
Ahead of the Federal Reserve meeting, the Trump administration has asked an appeals court to remove Lisa Cook from the Board of Governors. Linda Kenyon reports.
The urgent request comes after a judge had ruled the administration did not meet the requirement that states' Fed governors can only be fired for cause while in office. Last month, President Trump tried to fire Cook, alleging she committed mortgage fraud in 2021. But Cook joined the board in 2022. The president's lawyers argued she should be removed anyway, saying her actions called into question whether she could be responsible as a steward of the interest rates and the economy. Cook denies the allegations and has not been charged with any crime. The Fed next meets Tuesday to discuss interest rates. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
On Wall Street today, the Dow jumped more than 600 points. The S&P 500 set another record. The Nasdaq was up 157. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Coming up, a stash of stolen mail recovered in Pierce County. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. Kia of Everett has our update. South 5 heavy from 85th down to I-90. Linwood to Seattle up to a half-hour drive. Seattle to Everett at 45 minutes. We're filling in between Northgate and Mountain Lake Terrace. You'll clear out in Linwood until you hit the interchange, and then you start to jam up north of that interchange. South 5 at 164th in Linwood. We've got a crash that was just moved out of your way over to the Gore Point. Still got a brief backup there at the scene. Bellevue to Everett also at 45 minutes. You're filling in between Kirkland and Totem Lake. Once you get to Everett, eastbound 526 is heavy from the Boeing plant over to I-5. North 5 is now crowded from 526 up to Highway 2. Another backup starts near Dagmar's Landing into Marysville. Everett to Marysville is at 15 minutes. Bellevue to Renton's a half-hour drive. It's crowded from 520 all the way to the VMAC. You're pretty thick heading into Factoria. And southbound 167 is jam-packed from Highway 18 into Sumner. Thinking of a Kia EV? You better act fast. Thousands in tax credits end September 30th. Visit KiaofEverett.com for the huge selection. Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granello. A man in Pierce County is accused of using a stolen master key to swipe mail across Gig Harbor. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay reports that suspect was sent to jail.
On September 9th, detectives recovered the official key, a firearm, narcotics, and a large stash of stolen mail during a vehicle search tied to the case. The 34-year-old suspect faces multiple charges across several jurisdictions. Gig Harbor police say the arrest follows weeks of complaints from people about missing mail. The United States Postal Inspection Service is now taking a look at all the evidence. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
A SWAT standoff ends peacefully this morning following a shooting in South Hill where a 48-year-old man was found shot. Deputy Carly Capetto says they tracked the 20-year-old suspect to a home near Edgerton Elementary.
That school made a decision to cancel school today because we had an outstanding suspect barricaded.
The man eventually gave himself up after a 2-hour-long standoff. No word yet on what led up to the shooting. Lawmakers gave it one last shot to save the Lake City Fred Meyer, but the company just said no. Fred Meyer's president sent a letter to State Representative Jerry Paulette this week. Says Kroger's plan to shut down stores in Lake City, Redmond, Kent, and Everett is moving forward. The Seattle Mariners look to make it 6 wins in a row tonight, and as KIRO News Radio's Heather Bosch reports, the fan base is feeling very superstitious.
The Mariners went on a winning streak after fan Steve Blackburn says he asked a witch through the website Etsy to cast a spell.
And then all of a sudden, they score 28 runs in 2 days.
But is their success due to the mighty mustache? TV broadcaster Aaron Goldsmith noting whiskered teammates going long.
9-2 in the 8th inning. Everybody grow mustaches.
Mariners radio voice Rick Riz insists the key is the snack food team president Jerry DePoto brought into the booth.
And Jerry tossed me a bag of Cheetos and said, maybe this will turn our luck around. And we won, and we kept winning.
And if the M's keep winning tonight, they will be tied for first place in the AL West. Weather update now brought to you by State Roofing. And exteriors finally starting to see those clouds burn off. We are in for at least partly cloudy skies by the end of today, with highs topping out around 70, right now 65 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
The old rule. You know what the rule of the gold is? He who has the gold makes the rules.
That's right.
Write that one down, Sherry.
Okay. He who has the gold makes the rules.
That's the golden rule.
Okay. I thought the golden rule was something else.
No. Yeah, I'm so glad she's gone.
Oh, don't say
I'm
that.
kidding.
Come on.
I'm kidding.
Unbelievable.
Oh, no, teeny. I talk to Sherry probably really twice a month. Just check in, see how she's doing.
How's she doing?
She's good. She's in an old folks' home. Mostly clear soups at lunch.
That's nice.
And then she's asleep by 3.
That a girl.
Kidding. She's doing very well. She's the only person I know ever gets fired from a radio station and still agrees to come on that radio station. I mean, other than Nate. All right, everybody. The John Curley Show, by the way, quick note before I dive in. I think about 400 people gathered at Westlake yesterday for a revival, for speeches about Charlie Kirk. Nice to see everybody out there that was out there. It was hastily organized, but well attended. So hello to everybody out there. Also, in the people in YouTube land, hey to you. All of my papers are so important, I don't have time to throw one to you. But diving into the all right, let's see. We got some news. We call this news anyway. That's news. Will it be news to you? Get the gong ready, because I was thinking, but not yet. Lots of interesting stuff this day in history. We're going to hold back on this day, back in 2001, the attack on America, and going back into 1847.
Oh.
We have the edited version of that song?
I have a couple versions.
Well, okay, then it'll talk about people that get fired from the radio station and play the wrong one. We'll see if you come back. People, as a kid, Halloween, I dressed up as a cop once. I think every kid wanted to be a cop at some points. Cops and robbers, right? This guy is really into it. This isn't stolen valor. This is just a guy that was able to buy a whole bunch of stuff and make himself seem like a cop. Even the cops like, what are you doing here?
Very convincing.
Very convincing. Which will give me a chance to chew my cabbage twice, which means tell the same story I've told before about the day I went out with Dave the cop on a ride-along, and then I got a chance to investigate a crime until somebody goes, why are we talking to you? Aren't you on Evening Magazine? It's like, all right, so La Center School the principal of the school has said, you know, we're not going to teach this stuff to kindergartners, first graders, second and third graders. Then the Washington State, Chris Rakedahl comes in and says, well, you better, or we're going to take funding away. Then you get the federal government's come in and said, well, we're going to be investigating what's happening in the state of Washington. We'll talk to Moms for Liberty, who is heading up this fight. Plus, also, God, are we going to be able to do this Katie Wilson story in 8 minutes?
I think so.
It's complicated.
It is.
I just got to leave it at that, or I'm going to run out of time. Plus, also, Lucky Cheetos, all the different ways that people do in order to try to change. There's been other traditions, of course. 1-888-973-5476. Some of your favorite baseball traditions you've seen, you know, rally hats, rally caps, put the caps on backwards, all that other stuff. Apparently, we all need to be eating Cheetos.
The Slump Buster. Didn't know about that one until you brought it to my attention.
I asked Rick Rives, who's such a gentleman. And Joe quickly looked it up. What was the guy's name again?
Oh, jeez.
We said, what's the story about the Slump Buster? The guy would date a girl, and he's like, well, you know, that's, okay. Well, we're not going to talk about that.
You did confirm that it's true, though.
Yes, okay. Plus, also, more details on the Charlie Kirk assassin. I think $100,000 is being offered for any information leading to his arrest. They believe they found the rifle that was used. We will talk to an expert marksman about what it would take to do something that occurred there in Utah. Plus, also, it's going to get kind of heavy there. And then finally, I'll end it with this. 2 weeks after September 11th, 2001, I had the great honor to go to Ground Zero. And I'll share with you a story. The chief of a fire department down there, I think it's one that's right down near Liberty Street, and the story that he told me. So, all of that. Okay. All right. In the meantime, I was thinking, all this left, right, red, blue, Republican, Democrat, all those labels, all that stuff, reminded me of a long, long time ago, unfortunately. I was a theater major at Ithaca College, and I was in a play called Tartuffe. And normally, after rehearsal, the lights would be on the stage. All the actors would sit on the stage and wait. About 10 or 20 rows back, the director would sit in darkness with the assistant to the director sitting beside. And there would just be a flashlight that would bob along. You would sort of see it move up and down as the director would sit there. And then they would begin a thing called notes. It's called notes. And the assistant director would say, well, we have notes. And then with that, you'd hear the director begin. And it would sound something like this. Act 2, Scene 2. Act 2, Scene 2. Barry, why are you waiting? Why are you waiting? The director never asks for answers. The director is just giving notes, and then you'd hear, and you'd throw that one away. Act 3, Scene 4. Steve, I need you to be more, I don't know what you're doing. You got a sword or something. Whatever you're gesturing with is not working. Act 3, Scene 5. Tom, I completely miss whatever your intention is. Notes go on for as bad as the rehearsal was. Sometimes they would be no more than 5 minutes. Sometimes they would be 20 minutes. It all depends. You could tell if the show was going to be bad, there'd be a lot of notes, and you'd hear as the director would take the notes and throw it away. On this particular evening, Kevin Cotter, who is a great, great director, said, Curly and Pam, please stay, which is not good. All the other actors get up and leave the stage. With that, you hear this clunk as the lights come back on again on the stage. Work lights, as they're known. They turn off the Klieg's and the rest of the stage lights. The director, Jen, slowly walks down from 30 rows back and stands at the edge of the stage. And he says, you're not great actors. I know you're not great actors. Because if you read the script, which I assume you've read, you're supposed to love one another. You're supposed to be madly in love with her. You're willing to die.